So if you guys read Blood Hunt, then you know the important thing that happened. It wasn't Varney losing. No, that wasn't the important thing. It was that we have a new Sorcerer Supreme in town. His name is Dr. Doom. And as soon as Cap found that out, he was like, time to start a new team. My name is Dorian. This is SCM Comics. We are starting our coverage of Avengers Assemble. Number 1. Our story starts off in Germany. And there's like a site to where, like archaeologists are at. Unfortunately, they're all dead. Killed by a woman who wants the mask of Erida. She was like the goddess of hate. And we see on the next page that it was Sin. For those of you guys who don't know who Sin is, that is Red Skull's daughter, who he didn't want because Red Skull was a complete asshole. Not only was he racist, but he was also sexist too. So then we cut to Avengers Mansion in New York City, where Jarvis is meeting with Captain America. Man, I feel like 50 Cent in the game should be playing because we were taking it back, ain't we? So pretty much Captain America is telling Jarvis what I told you in the beginning. Dr. Doom is now a new Sorcerer Supreme, so now they got to be on their P's and Q's to make sure that they're ready for whatever he got planned, because he got something planned. Now, he has a big roster that he wants to fill up, but the first 3 have already arrived. They are Monica Rambeau, Photon, Shang-Chi. I know it was supposed to be Shang-Chi. No, forget that. Shang-Chi. And we have Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp. And they already have a mission. Well, we kind of saw that in the beginning. They gotta go stop Sin. So, Shang-Chi uses his new abilities, which pretty much came from the movie. The Mandarin rings, which we know those are the Mandarin rings. All right, you know what? I'm gonna leave it well off alone. He has his power now, and he's able to transport them instantly. And then Jarvis is like, magic always has a cost, as he is sweeping up the magical energies that's left behind. Jarvis got me wondering what the hell he's doing. So they show up to Germany, and it's chaos. Everybody's pretty much fighting each other because, Sin is using the hate goddess's powers, and she's doing what her father would do right now. She's stunting. So she's stunting like her daddy. But while that's going on, the Serpent Society is actually robbing a museum while all this craziness is going on, which is kind of smart. Whoever in charge is like, look, whenever the Avengers show up to deal with whatever crisis that's going on, they'll also show up and they'll take whatever they want to because the Avengers are too busy dealing with whatever crisis that they're dealing with. That's pretty much a plot taken straight out of the Die Hard movies. I know some of you guys are watching this and are like, what's Die Hard? And now my heart hurts a little. So Sin starts to use her power, and not only is it working on like the townspeople that are there, but now it's working on our Avengers too. Like Janet starts dogging out Cap about his leadership, and when she was leader, it was ran better. And then Manga's like, what, you were the leader for like 5 minutes? And she's like, not only am I an Avenger, but I'm also Ultimate. I've seen things you ain't never seen before. The only one that it hasn't really affected is Shang-Chi, or it's affected him, but he's able to like fight it off because he has true balance within himself. So he uses the power of the rings and his chi, and he hits the other 3 in their pressure points to kind of turn off the hate momentarily. So Shang-Chi's like, can I say it? And Jan's like, you earned it. And he goes, Avengers Assemble. Now we go back to the mansion. Hawkeye is one of the first ones to show up. He gives Jarvis the keys to the Skybody King. He's like, hey, don't use your left foot. Some out of bail money. Then he's thinking to himself, like, I don't know why Jarvis walks around with that accent. I know he's from Brooklyn. Then we switch back to Germany, where Sin punches the hell out of Cap's shield. And Cap's like, she got a power up. And then Sin's like, you know what? I shattered the shield before. Why can't I do it again? See, picking up Thor's hammer and breaking Cap's shield should be something sacred. Like, if you really want to show how powerful a being is, like, those 2 things should be in place. But now it seems like anybody can pick up Thor's hammer. Anybody can break Cap's shield. Like, it's not special no more. So we cut back to the mansion where Hawkeye is joined by Lightning, who's then joined by She-Hulk and Julie Powers, who is Lightspeed. She's from Power Pack. So we cut back to Germany where Cap is using his shield for more than just defense, and Shang-Chi is busting out the Kung Fu. So Sin's like, why am I fighting you by myself? And she uses her powers, and then that big old mob is now coming for the Avengers. So the mob swarms the Avengers. Monica is able to break free, and she goes after Sin, but Sin grabs her by the neck and is like, I don't think so. So now we go back to the mansion, and we see Hercules has showed up. And then Wonder Man comes out of nowhere. Now, Wonder Man, I feel like, gets a bad rap, because I recently found out that Rogue's power set, a lot of it is based off of Wonder Man, and Vision's personality is also based off of Wonder Man. So for nobody to really know who Wonder Man is, like a lot of our favorite characters might not be our favorite characters if it wasn't for Wonder Man. But not only does a comic book community disrespect Wonder Man, he also gets disrespected in the comics. He sits down at the poker table and he's talking to Judy Powers, and she's like, oh, I know who you are. He was like, oh, I guess you've seen some of my movies. And she goes, oh no, my dad's a really big fan, which makes Wonder Man feel old now. Like I feel old when, you guys don't know about Die Hard. Same mistake. Now we go back to Germany. Monica's getting choked out. Cap and Shang-Chi are trying to handle the crowd. And then all of a sudden, to save Monica, Janet goes into Sin's nose and starts shocking the bejesus out of her. So Monica recovers, and she gets back with Shang-Chi and Cap. She comes up with a plan to finally take out Sin. Janet finally gets a farmer handkerchief where Sin just snorts her out of one nostril. She gets to normal size, and she goes, won't be my favorite memory, but hey, the Nazi god is rattled. So then Sin starts putting it on Cap. But then she realizes one thing, that this fight's too easy. Why? Because Cap doesn't have a shield. So Monica does. And she's coming at light speed with that shield. She hits Sin so hard that her face is probably going to land in Jupiter. And now Sin is done. Done. So as Sin is dissolving, yes, she's dissolving like the Wicked Witch or something, she's like, hate never go away, hate's always around, and I will be back. Because she's a pretty good second tier villain. So then we cut back to the mansion where everybody's sitting at the table. I guess they're done playing cards. Jarvis is like, oh, well, I guess it's time for dinner, when all of a sudden Night Thrasher shows up. Now I'm gonna go ahead and admit this. I don't know anything about Night Thrasher, so I can't wait to read this series, find out more about this character. I guess he got some bread to him, because he shows up with this suitcase or box, whatever it is, and it has Avengers uniform, matching Avengers uniforms for everybody. And it does more than just keep them warm. It gives them advantages. So Justice League Unlimited and Avengers Assemble are like eerily similar to each other. And we could compare and contrast, because we're covering both. Yeah, we're covering both. So then we go, technically still in New York, but a little further out in New York, where we have this abandoned building, and we see the Serpent Society is having a meeting, and they're collecting all these items from like these different places so they can hopefully bring back Mephisto. This dude never goes away.